This is Earl Flora. The night before the 1970 Hambletonian, within the carnival atmosphere of the DuQuoin State Fair, Stan Bergstein and I had the opportunity to sit down with several of the drivers and discuss the big race shaping up for the next afternoon.
Stan Dancer, how big a thrill is it to have that boy sitting alongside of you driving in the Hambletonian?
Well, this is a great thrill. I'll probably be more nervous with him driving into it than I would as if he wasn't, but it's a great thrill. Have my son driving in the race. It seems like yesterday he was sitting on my lap.
Ronnie, at 12, you were only interested in showing pigeons. Now at 21, you're one of the youngest drivers ever to drive in the Hambletonian. When did you get the harness racing bug?
Well, it wasn't until I was in high school that I really got interested working during the summers with the horses. And I also got out from under my father's wing and worked for Del Cameron. So I was really about 14, 15 when I started working with the horses. But prior to that, it wasn't that. I followed them, but I never worked with them.
Vernon Dancer, what's the story with Victory Star? What are your chances?
Well, we've had our problems this year with Victory Star. He's had a hock problem since we raced him in the Dexter Roosevelt with bothering him. We got that in pretty good shape just before Vernon Downs, and then he came up with a splint, which has been bothering him ever since. I trained him here last Wednesday, and he trained real good, and I'm hoping for the best tomorrow.
Frank Irvin, this is your 16th Hambletonian. Would you say this race carries more significance than any other in the sport?
Yes, I'd compare the Hambletonian to the Kentucky Derby. With the sports world is focused in on DuQuoin, the Hambletonian every year for this one day, which they can't get with any other harness race in the United States.
Howard Beisinger, a year ago, you took the Hambletonian and the Big Five with Lindy's Pride. You said at that time you'd just taken each race one at a time. What about this year with your Hambletonian entry, Paris Ayres?
Well, here again, I've been taking one race at a time, and I've been hoping all season he'd be good enough to start in the Hambletonian. I don't know if he is, but he's a nice colt, and with some luck, I think he might get some money. But, it's certainly a little more relaxing this year than it was last year.
George Schulte, does relative inexperience in a colt such as your mount, Luther Hanover, play much of a part in a big field such as this?
Yeah, I think it does in the field. This big 15 colt starting, and I've got the 5-hole, and I'll have a trailer behind me. And he's just not quite handy or seasoned enough to trot with those colts out of there to take advantage of a position, or if somebody makes a break where I could move him quick to get in a place, I'll have to be real careful and just be froze on him. But I think if I'm close to the head of the stretch without having to use him too far, he can trot with about anybody's horse right now, I do believe.
Bill Houghton has won more money in more races than any driver in the history of North American harness racing, and one of the few major classics that has escaped him is the Hambletonian. This year, with probably the strongest contender he has ever had for the race, in Gil Hanover, now sick and out of it, Bill looks at the race as an outsider. How does it look to you now, Bill, from the sidelines?
Well, Stan, the other day I was out here to train my horse, and I saw Timothy T train that day, and to me, he trained exceptionally well. I won him 2 minutes and 4/5, last half of 59 3, and looked like he was well within himself. And as far as I can see, unless he gets in a lot of trouble, he stands out by quite a few lengths.
Bill, no one is more respected in harness racing than you, and no one has done more for the sport. What does the Hambletonian mean to you?
I think it's the ultimate objective you could have in your life as far as racing is concerned. There's other races that you could win. Some races have a first value of $300,000. I don't think you could feel as well as you would if you win Hambletonian. You get a thing like this, you know. I'm kind of proud of that. And I think it's the ultimate thing in your profession.
Do any of the others have a chance to upset Timothy T?
Jimmy's got a colt in there called Formal Notice, and they timed him in 2 minutes, in fact, in the Fortune Park last week. Jimmy really thinks this is a great horse. And Jimmy's not he's a little, as I say, a little conservative, and I think he's a nice colt, but I think it's just it's the little bit the luck of the draw, and anybody's got a chance outside of Timothy T. I think he is the best horse in the race.
And so, Hambletonian Day, 1970, a day when one of the largest fields in the Classics history, 15 horses, will go for the second highest purse ever, nearly $144,000. Fifth money itself will total more than $7,000, and even in the world of horses, that ain't hay. Timothy T, a fleet brown son of a former Hambletonian winner, Ayres, is the heavy favorite here at DuQuoin, Illinois today, but in the heavy traffic of 15 great trotting horses, anything can happen. The stiffest competition is expected to come from Fairbanks Hanover, winner of the Arden Downs and Greenwood Stakes, Clayt Hanover, victorious in the Reynolds Memorial, Neville Rascal, winner of the historic Dickerson, and such other consistently strong performers as Victory Star, Flower Child, Formal Notice, and Speedy Spin. This is the 45th year for the Hambletonian Trotting Classic, dating way back to 1926 when Guy McKinney won the first one. Since that time, the Hambletonian's Victory Lane has showcased such immortal trotters as Greyhound, Rosalind, Bill Gallen, Hoot Mon, Scott Frost, Hickory Smoke, Speedy Scott, Ayres, and Neville Pride. And here they come, the finest 3-year-old trotters in all the land. Clayt Hanover with driver Stanley Dancer. Flower Child with Hugh Partial up. Flynn Hanover, handled by Bill Rouse. Neville Rascal with 21-year-old Ronnie Dancer. Luther Hanover and George Schulte. Speedy Spin, pulling the veteran Frank Irvin. The Consort with Jimmy Laurent. Victory Star, driver Vernon Dancer. Timothy T, John Simpson Jr. in the sulky. Formal Notice with Jimmy Arthur up. Paris Air, handled by Howard Beisinger. Arden Owl, Ned Bauer in the bike. Gallant Prince and Del Cameron. Fairbanks Hanover, driver Delvin Miller. And Quick Trick, driven by Willard Mikesell. Clayt Hanover with the rail in this first heat of the Hambletonian, the favorite Timothy T out wide at the 9 post.
Here they come in the first heat of the 1970 Hambletonian. Ayres and trotting, moving out fast, Neville Rascal, Clayt Hanover down along the inside. Neville Rascal and Clayt Hanover, Paris Air third, Victory Star fourth on the outside, Flynn Hanover is fifth. Racing sixth is Flower Child, Fairbanks Hanover's off stride. There goes Luther Hanover up on the outside with a rush as they go to the quarter. Victory Star drives to the front, leads by a length. Neville Rascal is second. Racing in third is Clayt Hanover, Luther Hanover fourth on the outside. Paris Air fifth at the quarter. Flynn Hanover is sixth, Speedy Spin is seventh, Flower Child is eighth. Racing in ninth is Timothy T on the outside. Then in 10th comes Arden Owl with Gallant Prince 11th going down the backstretch. Quick Trick is 12th. Racing in 13th is the Consort. Formal Notice is 14th. Going to the half-mile mark, Victory Star leads by a length. Luther Hanover is second on the outside. Neville Rascal third along the inside. The first quarter was in 29 and 4/5 seconds. They moved past the half-mile mark, the half in 59 and 2/5 seconds. Victory Star is the leader, a length and 3/4. Neville Rascal is second on the inside. Luther Hanover third on the outside. Paris Air is fourth at the rail. Racing in fifth is Clayt Hanover as they swing around the turn. Off stride is Luther Hanover. Leading the way is Victory Star. Quick Trick moves up on the outside with Speedy Spin as they come to the 3/4 mile mark. It is Victory Star with the lead at the 3/4. Neville Rascal, Speedy Spin on the outside coming on, and between horses, Clayt Hanover. And here comes Timothy T. Into the stretch they come, Speedy Spin on the outside. As they drive through the stretch, Speedy Spin closing with Timothy T, surging up on the extreme outside. Timothy T coming on, Victory Star down along the inside. Timothy T shows the way, Flower Child on the extreme outside. Victory Star at the rail, but it's Timothy T. Timothy T wins it by 3 lengths. In second is Flower Child, and there is a photo for show in the first heat of the Hambletonian in 2 minutes and 1/5 of a second.
Timothy T living up to advanced expectations, and 27-year-old Johnny Simpson Jr. living up to his famous father. Making it a family affair is brother Jimmy Simpson, center, also deeply involved. A past master at bringing a horse to its peak on precisely the right day of the year, John Simpson Sr., Timothy T's trainer and owner, is congratulated by Stan Dancer. Timothy T's daddy, Ayres, not only won the Hambletonian in 1964, but blistered one heat of that classic in 1:56 4/5, a record which still stands in this harness racing headliner. So, in more ways than one here at DuQuoin today, it's Father's Day, with the sons, Johnny and Timmy, doing the honors thus far.
Here they come in the second heat of the 1970 Hambletonian Classic. Ayres and trotting. Formal notice is out fast with Neville Rascal. Victory Star on the inside with Speedy Spin. And down along the rail, Timothy T. As they go around the first turn, the leader is Victory Star. Off stride on the outside is Gallant Prince. After an eighth of a mile, Victory Star leads by a length. Formal notice is second. Speedy Spin is third. Neville Rascal is fourth on the outside. Timothy T is fifth at the rail. Fairbanks Hanover sixth on the outside. Flower Child is seventh going to the backstretch. Plate Hanover is eighth. The Consort ninth. Ayres is 10th. Luther Hanover is 11th. Ardenal 12th. Quick Trick is 13th. Flynn Hanover is 14th. And Gallant Prince is 15th. The quarter in 29 2/5 seconds. As they go to the half-mile mark, Victory Star leads the way a length and a half. Formal notice second. Driving up on the outside, Fairbanks Hanover is now second. Formal notice is third. Racing in fourth as they go to the half-mile mark is Clayt Hanover. They reach the half in 58 2/5 seconds. They are flying around that far turn. Victory Star is the leader. Fairbanks Hanover second by a head on the outside over his stablemate Formal Notice, who is third at the rail. And now, up on the outside, Timothy T is on the move, driving. He is fourth and flying on the extreme outside as they come to the three-quarters. Timothy T rushes up to challenge Victory Star for the lead. At the three-quarters, it's Timothy T on the outside, 1:28 1/5. Into the stretch they come. Timothy T, Victory Star on the inside. Speedy Spin moves up boldly on the outside for the stretch drive. Flower Child is on the extreme outside. It's Timothy T, Speedy Spin coming on. Here comes Formal Notice, driving on the outside. Formal Notice is thundering up on the outside. It's Formal Notice coming on to get the lead. Formal Notice, Timothy T, second in third is Speedy Spin as Formal Notice wins the second heat of the Hambletonian in 1:58 2/5 in a startling upset.
The fastest mile of the year by a trotting horse and a startling upset by Formal Notice, who started in only one race as a 2-year-old and had won only one race coming into this Hambletonian. Bred by Kentucky's Walnut Hall Farm and owned by the Allwood Stable of Far Hills, New Jersey, Formal Notice is a son of Kimberly Kidd, and he's driven by capable Jimmy Arthur, who already has a Hambletonian to his credit back in 1961 behind Harlan Dean. Formal Notice exploding from third in the stretch to send a Hambletonian into extra heats. And the big crowd gladly settles back to relax a bit and enjoy one of the race intermission shows that has helped make this Hambletonian scene at DuQuoin so colorful. Which reminds us there is not a single filly in the entire Hambletonian field today. Word now that 6 horses have been withdrawn from the upcoming third heat, they being Clayt Hanover, Flynn Hanover, Neville Rascal, Paris Air, Ardenal, and Quick Trick. Formal Notice gets the rail with Timothy T alongside.
Here they come in the third heat of the 1970 Hambletonian here at DuQuoin. Ayres and trotting. Victory Star is out fast from the outside. Formal Notice down along the inside with Timothy T. Victory Star races to the front around the first turn. Formal Notice is second. Timothy T third on the outside, and Gallant Prince is fourth. Fairbanks Hanover is fifth. Luther Hanover sixth. Speedy Spin is seventh on the outside. Flower Child is eighth, and the Consort is ninth. Into the quarter-mile mark they go with Timothy T up in front now by a length and a quarter. Formal Notice is out of third and driving. Quarter at 29 3/5 seconds. They go to the backstretch. Formal Notice races for and gets the lead. Timothy T is now second by a length. Victory Star is third. Gallant Prince is fourth. 4 lengths back in fifth is Fairbanks Hanover. Luther Hanover is sixth. Speedy Spin is seventh. The Consort is eighth. Flower Child is ninth. That's Formal Notice with the lead by a length and 3/4. Timothy T is second, a length and a half. Victory Star is third, a length. Gallant Prince is fourth. As the field moves to the half-mile mark, Formal Notice reaching the half in 1 minute and 1/5 of a second. It is Formal Notice leading a length and a half. Timothy T right there in second. Victory Star is third. Fairbanks Hanover ranging up now on the outside. Gallant Prince is fourth at the rail. Fairbanks Hanover fifth. Speedy Spin is sixth, moving up. Luther Hanover is seventh. The Consort is eighth, and Flower Child is ninth. Formal Notice leads, but Timothy T is out and driving at him as they come to the 3/4. Formal Notice on the inside, Timothy T on the outside. They're at the 3/4 mile mark in 1:31 and 2. Turning for home, Timothy T on the outside, Formal Notice on the inside. Gallant Prince is third, Fairbanks Hanover, Victory Star coming on, and Luther Hanover on the outside. That's Timothy T with the lead down to the stretch. Formal Notice is second. It's Timothy T and Formal Notice as they drive to the wire in the final 1/8 of a mile. Timothy T and Formal Notice, and it's Timothy T winning the Hambletonian. Formal Notice is second, and the 30-mile in 2 minutes and 3/5.
And Johnny Simpson Jr. becomes the youngest man ever to win the Hambletonian. For caretaker Charlie Coleman, it's number 2. He also having had Ayres 6 years ago. Illinois Governor Richard B. Ogilvie proudly presides over Victory Lane ceremonies, but none is more proud this day than John Simpson Sr., who produced the horse, and Hambletonian President Bill Hayes, who produced the show. Add Mrs. Simpson Jr. to that list, too. For young Johnny Simpson Jr., admittedly the thrill of his young lifetime. We asked Johnny how it felt to be the youngest driver ever to win the Hambletonian, and what were the pressures.
Well, it was great to win, and it was great to get over. Of course, I don't know about the pressure. There wasn't that much pressure.
Johnny, is it correct that you and your dad aimed Timothy T just for the Hambletonian?
In one sense of the word, my father aimed Timmy for the Hamiltonian.